Hello everyone and welcome to our channel CodeChef. Today we will be solving the problem FIZZ BUZZ with the difficulty level of simple. Let's get started. Here in this problem statement is written that we need to write a program that prints the numbers from 1 to 100. However, for those numbers that are multiples of 3, we need to print FIZZ. For numbers that are multiples of 5, we need to print BUZZ. And for numbers that are multiples of both 3 and 5, we need to print FIZZ BUZZ. Print a new line after each number. To make this clear, I have written down the output, what it will look like for the first 15 numbers. Now if you look at this 1, I just print 1, for 2 I just print 2, however for 3 I print FIZZ because as you see 3 is divisible by 3. For multiples of 3 we need to print FIZZ. Similarly for 4 I just print 4, for 5 I just print 5, however 6 is divisible by 3 so I print FIZZ. Similarly I just print 7, just print 8. However, 9 is divisible by 3, hence I print FIZZ corresponding to 9. Now 10 is divisible by 5. If you look at this, if a number is divisible by 5, we need to print BUZZ. So corresponding to 10, I print BUZZ. Now 11 I just print. Now 12 is again divisible by 3, and when it is divisible by 3, we need to print FIZZ. So for 12 I print FIZZ. Now 13, 14 I just print as it is, and now 15 is an interesting case. 15 is divisible by both 3 and 5. Since 15 is divisible by both 3 and 5, I print FIZZ BUZZ here. So hope that clears the problem. Now let's look at the approach to solve this problem. Basically, it asks us to check for numbers from 1 to 100. So we'll run a for loop and we'll say that number is equal to 1 initially, and up till number less than equal to 100 we will run this loop. Now each iteration of this for loop, we are going to check if number mod 3 equal to 0 and number mod 5 equal to 0. What does this mean? This means that we're checking if a number is divisible by 3 and a number is divisible by 5. In that case, we know that instead of printing the number, we need to print the string FIZZ BUZZ. Now otherwise, we are going to check if the number mod 3 equal to 0. If a number is divisible by 3, we know that we need to print FIZZ. Now otherwise, in the other else condition, we are going to check if the number mod 5 equal to 0. We know that if the number is divisible by 5, we need to print BUZZ. Now this is not over yet, as if none of these conditions are satisfied, we will have an else condition that says otherwise print the number I. If we try run it for a few values of number, for example, let's say a number is 1 initially, you check if this is satisfied. If number 1 mod 3 equal to 0 and 1 mod 3 equal to 5, not satisfied. Now you check 1 mod 3 equal to 0, no, because 1 mod 3 is 1. Now you check 1 mod 5 equal to 0, no. None of the three conditions are satisfied, so you come to this else condition and you print I. So corresponding number equal to 1, the output will be 1 itself. Now for 2 also similarly, it goes to the last else. However, for number 3, you first check if 3 mod 3 equal to 0. This becomes true. However, 3 mod 5 you also have to check. Now 3 mod 5 is not equal to 0. 3 mod 5 is 3. So this condition returns false. This is an AND condition that requires both of the conditions to be true for the print statement FIZZ BUZZ to be executed. So corresponding to 3, the output will not be FIZZ BUZZ. We don't know now till now what is the output the program gives. So you need to go to the next else condition. You check 3 mod 3 equal to 0. 3 mod 3 is 0. That means that 3 is divisible by 3. Hence FIZZ will be printed corresponding to the number 3. Now if you want to check for number 5, what happens basically? You come here. Now this is true now. In that case for number 5, this becomes true and this becomes false. Hence the whole value of the if condition becomes false. So you go to the next else. You check if pi mod 3 is it 0? No. Then you come to the next else condition. Pi mod 5 is it 0? Yes. So corresponding to 5, BUZZ will be printed. Now for 15 what happens? For 15 you check 15 mod 3 is it equal to 0? True. Now if 15 mod 5 equal to 0? True. Now why is this true for both cases in 15? Because 15 is a number that is divisible by 3 and it is divisible by 5. That is why 15 mod 3 equal to 0 and 15 mod 5 equal to 0. Hence for 15 the string FIZZ BUZZ will be printed. So this seems that it will work for all the numbers properly. Let's look at a common mistake to avoid. By looking at the submissions page, almost all of the wrong submissions use this kind of approach. Now let's see what is wrong with it. I suggest you to pause the video and figure out on what case will this code give a wrong answer. So they're running a loop from I is 1 to 100, which is exactly what we just discussed. They're checking if the number mod 3 equal to 0, meaning that they're checking if the number mod 3 or is divisible by 3, then they're printing FIZZ. If the number mod 5 equal to 0, they're printing BUZZ. If the number is divisible by both 3 and 5, they're printing FIZZ BUZZ. Otherwise, they're printing just the number and a new line. So this is exactly what we discussed. But this will give a wrong answer. A hint is, think what happens to 15. Now this code basically, if you run it for I equal to 15, then check if 15 mod 3 equal to 0. That is satisfied because remember 15 mod 3 will give you 0 because 15 is divisible by 3. Now this code prints fizz for 15. That is wrong because corresponding to 15 we know that the output has to be fizz buzz because 15 is such a number that is both divisible by 3 and divisible by 5. Now what is wrong in this code is nothing but the placement of the if conditions. Because you're checking first if I mod 3 equal to 0 and prematurely printing fizz, you're not being able to check if I mod 5 also is true. So for numbers that are multiples of both 3 and 5, like let's say 30, 30 is another number that is divisible by both 3 and 5. You check if 30 mod 3 equal to 0 and you print fizz prematurely before even knowing that this number is also divisible by 5 or not. That is why in the logic that we just saw, this condition, this if I is mod 3 equal to 0 and I mod 5 equal to 0, this condition was at the starting. That was a reason. Because first, if you check if a number is both divisible by 3 and divisible by 5, you will not get into wrong answer submissions like this. So what the correct logic will be is first check if it's divisible by both 3 and 5. Then you check, then you can check either. Then let's say you check, then if it's divisible by 5, then you check, then it's divisible by 3. Otherwise, you just print I. That is exactly the logic that we saw, and I hope you understood why we placed this condition at the starting. Hope that was clear. Now let's look at the code for our approach. As discussed, we're having a loop from num is 1 till num less than equal to 100. First, we're checking if num mod 3 equal to 0 and num mod 5 equal to 0, meaning that if the number is both divisible by 3 and 5, we print this buzz. If the number is divisible only by 5, we print buzz. Else, if the number is divisible only by 3, we print fizz. Otherwise, we print the number. Don't forget to have this else condition that says if none of the above 3 conditions are satisfied, print num. Now, if we want to look at what the output will be, it'll look something like this as discussed. 1 and 2 are just printed. 3 is divisible by 3, so you have fizz. 4 is just printed. Now, 5 is divisible by 5, so you print buzz there. 6 is divisible by 3, so you print fizz. However, if you look at what happens for 15 here, you see that 15 is divisible by both 3 and 5, so fizz buzz has to be printed. This phase is because 12 is divisible only by 3. If you move on forward and want to see for 20, for example, what happens, you see for 20 it should be buzz and it's correctly buzz. From 1 till 100, this program will process all of these things and you can check it out. Let's submit the code and see if we get an AC for the C++ solution that we have coded. The time complexity for this solution is just linear in terms of 1 to 100. Now, as you see, we get an AC for the C++ solution. Now, what we'll do is we'll go on to the Python code and see what we're doing. Now, for num in range 1, 101, this is there because the start number is 1, but we need to go up till 100. Now, in Python, the range function, the second parameter is exclusive. So, if you write for range 1, 5, you will only process the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and not 5. That is why this has to be 101. Remember that. Now, first we have the condition that checks whether a number is both divisible by 3 and 5. If that is satisfied, we print fizz buzz. Otherwise, if a number mod 5 equal to 0, meaning that the number is only divisible by 5, we promptly print buzz. Otherwise, if a number mod 3 equal to 0, meaning that it's only divisible by 3, we print fizz. Now, again, the else condition is very important. Otherwise, we print num here. Let's submit the Python solution and see if we get an AC in Python also. As we see, we get an AC in Python too. Hey guys, that was it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you haven't yet done this, this is a gentle reminder to hit that subscribe button. If you're interested in competitive programming and data structures, this channel is a one-stop solution for you. See you in the next video. Bye.